Welcome to Legacy Conversations, a channel where we preserve military memories and history.
Hello everyone, welcome here to Legacy. I'm excited because, when we were in South Africa, we went to different places and we were treated very well. And one of the places we went to was Cape Town, which is not a particularly favorite destination for me. But Rebecca really loved it there very much. And we lived in Simonstown. Had a very nice Airbnb with two wonderful hosts as well. Really great people. And we could look over the bay all the time. And often we would see the Navy ship, the frigate, the SAS Amatola, which would sail out and then sail back in. It was an amazing sight. It was really something which I will remember for the rest of my days. It's very ironic because I wrote a book, I think codenamed Phoenix, where we actually sink that very same ship. Fictional, of course, but there's always a reason why I write these things. I don't write books just for entertainment. I also write books to warn. And it is so that I became aware of plans which terrorists have to actually sink such ships, to get the old Q ship principle back into a fore. It wasn't used for a couple of decades, but the idea would be to get this ship close, and if you can get it close enough, you open fire. Well, it's got no armor, and if you hit the right spots and you can take out the essential spots on it with anti-tank rockets, I'm fairly convinced that you can actually severely damage such a ship, even sink it. It's possible. That's why I wrote the book. It's to warn. But I was very glad to see the ship still sailing around. I'm proud of our Navy, man. I really love our Navy. I have no problem with the Navy. I hear all the rumors, all the stories, and yes, in this series of the Naval Museum, we have Admiral Angel Soderland speaking to us. He's also the man in charge of a submarine, or part of a submarine, SAS Assegai, the old Johanna, as they called her. This is now a museum ship, and it's about to open, probably open by the time you see this video. And if you're ever close to Simonstown Naval Base, please go and look at that submarine as well. It's well worth your time. It's a fantastic effort, and we were really treated well by the Admiral as well as the naval staff. We had no problems whatsoever. At one stage, we got lost, and we ended up with a Navy diving school, or where they train the divers anyway. Very fit-looking men standing around there, I must tell you. And totally professional, of course, what you expect of a Navy. And they were very kind, very friendly, even at the gates. Everybody was just thoroughly military professionals. There's no other word for it. There's fantastic people. I understand now if you wish to join the South African Navy, which is small, but professional, once again, that word, you need to have mathematics as well as science at a fairly high degree. Otherwise, they won't even look at you. And of course, to go onto the ships, or even more than that, the submarines, and so you really need to be something very special. But we were there to record the Naval Museum, and they had absolutely no problem with us. In fact, they gave me a whole bunch of mementos, which I will at the future show you in another video, because I still have to frame it and put it in my study and everywhere. It's like really nice little gifts and things we got as we went along. And we decided that we're going to make very short clips, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, sometimes a little bit less even, to show you different parts of a naval museum at Simonstown. And I did that on purpose, and I did that because I want to get you to go there. I don't want to show everything in one video, and it is very nice, and we don't get the publicity for the museum, which we actually want to get. And so the Admiral was kind enough to stand there right next to the exhibits, and he would explain to us what it's about. I think at some stage I started annoying him because I kept on saying that I donated 500 rands, and I expect you people to match me doing that. And if you can, of course, just to raise funds. Because, guys, I've been to several museums now. I've been to the one in Tetsolo or Tetsong, as we call it, at Saxon World in Johannesburg. I've been at the SAF in Port Elizabeth. I've been at the SAF in Swartkop. And we made fantastic videos, which is going to come out. And, they all say to me the same thing. They say, Koos, you know what? We don't really get the support what we should get from government, and they have other priorities, which we understand and respect. Therefore, it is up to us as veterans and as those who care to do something. And to do something means to donate money or to donate your time or donate your skills. If you want to go to one of these museums and assist, then please contact these people. Their details would be in every single video where we talk about that particular museum. Just get involved. You can't sit back here and not get involved. You have to volunteer now. You have to stand up, because this is your heritage. This is the actual machines and actual history. You can stand there and you can actually touch them. It is fantastic. And of course, those of you who've seen Rebecca's video, which she made, where we spoke about South Africa until she left on the 10th of December to come back home here to Thailand. I was still another 6 weeks in the country. She, she sort of didn't mention it, but I made sure to mention it. As you walk into the Naval Museum downstairs, then you'll see there's like an air raid bunker. Yeah, go and look at that thing. Very, very fascinating things happen in that air raid bunker. Go there, and then if you survive it, just crawl out and then go to the actual museum, which is 2 buildings, which is, once again, for South Africa, actually weird, because you're talking about 300-year-old buildings there, at least, if my mathematics isn't completely wrong, which it might be, but it's old. But the Admiral is explaining all these things. I also decided I'm not going to make a separate video for every one of these short clips. So you're going to see the same video with me in every one of the clips, because I have the same message anyway, and it's probably longer than the actual clip, or about the same in length. Please forgive me. We are really, really busy here with videos and editing, and we are being swamped, which is a very good thing, and I'm very grateful, and all honor to God, not to me, that we are privileged to bring you the South African military history in a video format. We're really, really privileged to do that. But anyway, to make a long story short, let's quickly see what our sponsor has to say, Vic. Because as you can imagine, it cost a bit of money to make these videos. About 90,000 rands, actually. That's what we spent while we were there, including the aeroplane tickets, things like that. There's something I want to bring to your attention, and that is George M. James. That's an author. And he wrote many, many books, dozens of books, and all of them has to do with South African military, has to do with espionage, counterterrorism, that type of thing. And each of those books are written with a specific purpose. And there are 53 of them. And George M. James has been a sponsor of this channel like in forever, since the very first video came out. So whatever George M. James books you buy, come back to Legacy. And they are available on audio, they're available on Kindle, they're available in paper, hardcover and softcover. All of them are available on Amazon. Some of the books are available in South Africa as well, in softcover. And I'll leave the details here. I urge you to have a look at it. Go to the website, have a look at the website, and I'm sure you're going to discover marvelous things there. I can be very blunt to you. If you like Legacy, if you want to support Legacy, want to support us in what we do, then please go and look at the George M. James books. Get hold of them. You're going to learn things which you didn't know. And a lot of the things we've discussed on Legacy has also come out in those books. And what is fascinating, those books were written before Legacy came. So we were deeper knowledge than what I think most of us would realize. So again, guys, George M. James, go and look at it.
Hello everyone, this is Koos, episode 3. I'm still here with the Admiral Navy Museum in Simonstown, and let's talk about the First World War, but I also see the Mendi, and that's important. Over to you, sir.
Although South Africa didn't have a navy at that stage, we had the RNVR South Africa, and those were all South Africans who were serving, because they were also volunteers. And initially, when the war broke out, we used our RNVR members who were called up to assist with shipping in the invasion of German Southwest Africa. Because there were no railway lines linking at the stage, everything had to go up by sea, especially for the two landings, the landings at Luderitz and at Walvis Bay. And they used RNVR people for that. On the tugs, which they armed a tug as well, to protect the force. And that was our first part in the First World War. However, a lot of volunteers, when they were discharged after completion of the German Southwest Africa campaign, had decided they would still wanted to go further. And they volunteered. And a group of them went across to the UK. When they got there, at that stage, the UK had called up most of its people, and they were destined to join the Royal Naval Division. The Royal Naval Division was the surplus Royal Navy reservists who they'd manned all their ships, and they formed them into 4 or 5 naval regiments or brigades, and they formed a division doing ordinary soldiers. The South Africans were not impressed. They were very proud of their naval uniform, and eventually it was agreed they would not go there, with 1 or 2 exceptions, and the rest were then sent to various Royal Navy ships. And they served in numerous areas. In fact, one of the better known ones is Able Seaman Wallace Bradley, whose picture is over there, who became the most widely traveled RNVR member of the war, having gone all the way around the world to get to his posting because of the war at the time. This is a small exhibition of the stuff there. Because we did not form part of a naval at the time, this is what we cover. But we also commemorate another, it's not naval, but it's a maritime incident, and we're the best place to do it. And the Navy has been supporting this for many years. In fact, even in the old days, before the new South Africa. And that is the horrifying SS Mendi tragedy, where the Mendi, carrying the Native Labour Corps to France, was in the English Channel, and she was run down by a cargo vessel, a refrigerated cargo vessel, which ran into her at night under not very nice conditions, and she sank. That caused the loss of over 600 South Africans, both the troops plus their white comrades who were officers and NCOs. And the amazing thing is that the ship, the Daro, which ran them down, continued. She didn't stop. And they have every year in the UK, off of Southampton, where she lay, they have a memorial service there, and it listed all the people there because some of the bodies were washed ashore there. But it's mainly a memorial. The South African Navy has taken it over in a way because of its maritime link. So every year in February, we remember the loss of the Mendi. And you can see here, we've got some interesting history on it in the museum as well.
Okay, guys, we were telling you a story about the Mendi, we were telling about the First World War. There's a lot of other stories you can also find out. Come to the museum, find out, or do some research. There's books written about it. We do have a ship called Mendi, don't we?
We've got one of our frigates is named after Mendi. We call it the warrior class because they died like warriors. There is a rumor, which Koos has mentioned, that they all danced the dance of death. Some aspect of it we do know is that the Padre did calm them down, call them all together, and said they'd come to die. Not so sure they danced on the deck at that stage.
Yeah, he said something like, brothers, we're from Africa, we came to die, so let us die like men. Something like that. Fantastic story. Thank you once again. Let's go to the next episode.
Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell to receive notifications.